1,009,986 members in this Reddit group. And the title of the Reddit group is r/tales from the front desk. It's basic. Actually, let me just read the description. A place where people from the hotel, mostly industry, can come and share the stories of the things our guests do and. Oh, Seymour. Can come and share the stories of the things our guests do and say that make customer service the hated job that it is. Non-hotel front desk stories welcome, so long as the tale involves a front desk. So yeah, come with me to explore r/tales from the front desk. I don't know what room I'm in. Back in September 2023, Duran Duran played close to my hotel. I think Duran Duran is like a pop boy band because my mom used to love them, so that's how I've heard of them. I'm pretty sure it's like a pop boy band. The band nor anyone associated with the band has nothing to do with this post, but their concert does. My hotel has 2 glass elevators right in front of the front desk. About 3 a.m., I see one of the elevators go down 1 floor. A few minutes later, it finally comes back up, and this guy excitedly waving his arms to get my attention. He was trapped on the elevator. Meaning he didn't push the button to go to the first floor. Oh. He asks if the gift shop is open, which it's mostly open 24 hours. What do you mean it's mostly open 24 hours? Like, why are businesses like this? My vet is like this. Like, a few weeks ago, they just decided to start closing on Saturdays, and it's like, I already thought it was a crime that you guys were closed on Sundays. Like, do you want to help animals or not? But they'll just like close at like 2 p.m. on a Tuesday for no fucking reason. And I guess the reason is that they don't have like a lot of staff. But like, is there nobody taking veterinarian school? I left him and he gets and pays for his items. He gets back on the elevator, and a minute or two later he comes back on the elevator, hands me his key, and says he forgot his room number. I say no problem and ask for his ID. He forgot it in his room. I ask him what his name is. He tells me and I can't find his name on my computer. He tells me the room is not in his name. I said that's going to be a problem because I won't be able to tell him what room he's in. He argues and says since he has a key, he must be long in that room. But the only reason this man hasn't been taken out by natural selection is because of the government. Because what the fuck do you mean? And at this point, I would just like grab the key back from the fucking worker and just start trying doors. Like, hello, go to the floor that you remember, or like, you know, the closest you remember. How long were you on the elevator for? You know, figure it out. Fuck, I hate it when people just can't figure out their problems. I said not necessarily because he could have found the key on the ground. Good point. He angrily asks me if he looks like a criminal. I thought, yes, you're a human. Humans tend to be criminals. That's such a good point. But I didn't say that. I asked for the name of the guest and I'd call the room and see if it was okay to send him down there. Here's where it gets funny. Be prepared to laugh. He said he didn't know the name of the guest because his mom just set him up with the guy in the room. Their first date was the Duran Duran concert. So I say to him, you don't know which room you came from? It's not in your name and you don't remember the name of the guy you were with. Yeah, you're not getting the room number on that key card. He gets angrier and tells me he belongs in the room and all his stuff is in the room. I apologize and say he's not getting any information about the room. He tells me to call the police. I ask why, and he said he wants me arrested for not letting him into the room. I call the police, trying not to laugh. When the dispatcher asked why I was calling, she laughed and asked if I was serious. When the police arrived and asked what was going on, I let him explain. All he said was I wasn't letting him into his room. I made him tell the police more, like the whole story. The police looked at me, also trying not to laugh. They get a hold of the guy's mom. She comes in and asks what's going on. She gives me the name of the guest in the room, but not the room number. She asks why her son didn't give me any of this information. I explained everything to her, including about him getting stuck on the elevator. She replied with her son is an idiot. I said I can't talk bad about guests to their loved ones, even if they can't prove they're staying in the hotel. She asked how her son can get his stuff back. I said we'll hold it for him after the guest checks out and housekeeping goes in to clean. That was good enough for her. Oh, and by the way, her son was 48, and the guy she set him up with was 52, so these weren't young kids. I don't want to judge because maybe there's some fairy tale couple out there who met this way, but I mean, it's already embarrassing that he's 48, but letting your mom set you up with somebody? What are we doing? Holy fuck. That's crazy. I would be so uncomfortable. And also, whose mom is doing that? That's crazy behavior. didn't want this guy to go back up to that room though. Like, cause I'm confused now. The mother showed up and gave the information that the front desk worker wanted. So why was it a problem? Was it just because he was being weird? I don't know. I don't get stuff like this. We have a new FDA. Hello, fellow FDA. We have a new FDA who started about a month ago. At first introduction, extremely nice and helpful, always asking what else they could do to help, helping our housekeeping manager and other managers where they could, attentive to learning the tricks of the trade, understanding PEP. Don't know what that is. As time has went on, they have become more sloppy with the job, over-explaining things to the point of confusion on both ends, making mistakes on reservations and not asking for help, just letting it happen and not forwarding it on in the daily pass-on where then we are confused later on. This FDA has stayed late after morning desk shifts to play pool/games with guests, visited guest rooms for housekeeping requests during peak check-in time, when we were told to tell the houseman, and came in 8 to 9 hours before their shift to sit and talk with guests. It's an extended stay, Schmilton. When I asked what they were up to so early, just a goodbye to a friend. This is a regular. He is here probably every month for about 5 to 6 days. I understand the level of connection with guests, but like, question mark, question mark, question mark. I don't know, I guess I feel something sinister about it, like something is not right. Also, not to mention the behavior towards my housekeeping manager, who has been here 7+ years. She is disabled and they infantilize her every day. They are both military vets, her and the new FDA. My HK manager wanted to ask them more about their time, since the new FDA said that they served in Ukraine and had a Purple Heart. The HK manager said they didn't meet any of the criterion for veterans. Like it was just a statement to throw around to be quirky, which I find somewhat disrespectful. I don't know, guys, I feel weird about it, and I needed to share this somewhere where I could get some opinions. Am I a hater or... Oh my god, this is concerning. Lots of red flags here. Anytime I have ever had an FDA behaving this way with guests, there was inappropriate/illegal activity happening. What? Well, if they lied about being a veteran, then I'm not surprised if they're doing shady dealings with the clients. That was interesting. Moving on. Just had a fun one. Lover spat. Karen Karenson called me at 9:45 saying they can't come. At 9:45 saying they can't come. Her boyfriend Chad Chadson got sick at dinner and is in the ER. The ER. Sometimes I speak and it doesn't sound like English. I tried to talk, but she would steamroll over me. She kept demanding I was not to charge her. I apologized and said it is well beyond check-in time and we're past the 24-hour cancellation policy. She kept screaming to cancel and not charge her. I left an email to my boss saying charge her. She was too rude. I even said to charge both nights instead of the single night as per cancellation policy. Take a deep breath. I don't know why I'm fucking up on simple words. About 10:15, Chad Chadson walked in to check in. I asked how he was feeling and surprised he got out of the ER so quickly. He laughed and said no, he was never in the ER. They broke up, so she must have been trying to sabotage the reservation. I checked him in, got his card and ID, and gleefully cancelled her name in our system. Then sent a revised email to my boss. That was a new one for me. Just update. Just got into work and I guess Karen showed up and is in the room with him now. Okay, see, this is where I would step back. It's not your business, but also that's funny. I am now confused as a squirrel with 3 tails. Girl, people fight. It's not that big of a deal. Who knows? And also, I feel like you're the most annoying person in the story. You named them Karen Karenson and Chad Chadson. Like, please don't have children. You suck at naming. Creepy things you can't explain. Okay, this is what I kind of wanted to get into. I wanted to see some drama ones, but I also want to see some, like, scary ones. Like, ones that, like, I don't know why, but I'm obsessed with, like, being in situations that could possibly be scary, and then, like, surviving them and being okay. That's so stupid. I can't believe I just said that. But it's true. Like, I love, like, danger that I know I can avoid. Hey guys, I'd really love to hear some of the creepy things that you can't really explain that have happened at your hotels. I've been helping out on night audit the last 2 years, and here are some of mine. The biggest is that the elevator doors will just randomly open on the check-in level. We have our main lobby and then check-in on level 2. Maybe it's like a bug or something, or maybe some, I don't know, cause like, why do they open? Is it like a sensor thing, or I don't know. With no one inside and usually only between the hours of 2 a.m. and 3:30 a.m. Now onto the most recent creepy, unexplainable thing. A few nights ago, I got a call at 4 a.m. from a guest on the 6th floor. They were anxious because they woke up in the middle of the night and heard heavy breathing right outside their door. I came up to the floor to check, and there was no one in the hall or stairwells, and no one could have gotten into the building who shouldn't be here. After doing my sweep, I went to the guest room to let them know everything was okay and explained another guest may have gotten confused about the room or been passing by. Now here comes the creepiness. The guest says that the heavy breathing was outside their door for over 4 minutes, and when they looked through the peephole, they couldn't see the carpet outside, just a black mass that vaguely resembled a man curled up in front of and against their door. I used to work in a business hotel in Manila, which has been demolished years ago to give way to newer infrastructure. There were so many stories being shared by employees about certain areas and spooky tales, like the function room on the 14th floor, which is technically the 13th floor, in which ghostly appearances are very common. One late night while doing night audit, the phone rang and the lady on the other line was very frantic and panicking and just repeated, "There's an old woman laying in the bathtub." When I asked which room they were from, she gave a room on the 7th floor. The location of the phone they were using was from the emergency exit on the 4th floor. They were so scared that they ran all the way down to the 4th floor. Security went to the room and found no old woman in the bathtub. The ladies who called were part of a huge international company having a 1-week function at the hotel. I believe them. I stand with those ladies that were at the function. See, like, this is just this one's not haunted at all. I can tell. It's just like technology doing its thing, I guess. But the front door at our property is an automatic sliding door, and all throughout my shift it'll randomly open. The front desk is far enough not to trigger it, and there's no one passing through or even in the lobby with me. Like, it's gotta be a bug or something. Oh, and someone says if you have a way to clean the sensor eye, it could potentially reduce or stop this. Additionally, sometimes big bugs, birds, etc. can trigger automatic. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. If it, like, it's a completely different story if it's not an automatic door. If it's like a manual door that you have to you physically open, like, that's completely different. There's no fucking bugs or birds opening doors. Let's be real. Unless they're automatic. I was looking for a second job after my first job has gone downhill. Been there, actually I'm there right now. Used to make good tips and they changed things so I don't make much anymore. I kept looking for jobs and it has been hard. This place called me in. It was one of those extended stay weekly motels to work front desk. Nice manager, and she actually hired me on spot, same with 2 other people. The thing is, it pays minimum wage, and yeah, since my training ended, I have to work alone. I work 3 to 11:30 p.m. 6, 7, 8.5 hours, and I just don't feel it is very safe. There's no security on property. Many of these people who stay in these weekly places seem to have mental issues. Many seem on government programs. They come to front desk and try to randomly insult you or request a lot of stuff or try to get away with no paying. I get shady people who come in and they use the room to shower and demand a refund after because they saw bugs. Or I have other people trying to get other free stuff or try to be your friend to manipulate you to get something. Not all are bad, and there are people who are there for work and they have a company paying for them and they won't bother you. Today this woman came in and her boyfriend had booked a room. She said her boyfriend's name and it was on the reservations list. I told her boyfriend should be here and give me his ID, and I would have to add her as a guest with her ID present too. She said her boyfriend had her ID and she thought she could check in like that. I told her I can't do that. She said her phone was dead and she asked me if she could charge it because they didn't let her do it at Starbucks. I charged it for her and she says her boyfriend is on his way to check in. She took a long sit at the front desk trying to talk about her job, how she is a manager and all of that, how she makes over $35 an hour. I shouldn't have, but she sat there for 2 hours. Her boyfriend calls her later and she was telling him how I need both of their IDs and he was refusing to provide them. She ended up leaving. She didn't even say goodbye. My coworkers are nice, it's close to home, but the pay and people are awful. Anyone worked at any of these places before? I mean, the things that you're explaining are kind of like, I feel, normal for like customer service, like, especially if it's just like a temporary thing. Like, Yeah, I don't know. If it pays the bills. Food from a customer. This story brought up a memory that made my stomach growl. The company I used to work for rarely had customers visit us. At the time this happened, the internet wasn't really a thing. Sorry, I heard a noise. And 98% of the time we dealt with customers over the phone. One of our customers was coming in for a training session and called for directions. When she told me where she was, I gave her directions and she said, "Oh, I'm closer than I thought, so I'd be way early." Any good Chinese restaurants around? I told her that China Star's egg rolls were amazing, but I never ordered anything there except the Szechuan beef. Thanks, she replied. See you around 2 o'clock. At 1:55, she walked in and said, "You must be Crash 420. The beef was great. These are for you," and handed me a bag with 2 egg rolls. My lunch had been a bit skimpy that day, and those egg rolls were delicious, mana. Over the next 20 years that she was one of our customers, I never forgot her name and voice, and she never forgot mine. To her, I was a friendly voice that helped her find us and continued to provide great service to me. She was a goddess that fed a near broke college student and showed him some customers are amazing. Interesting. Our pool has been out for quite a while now. We've been waiting on parts to come in. I don't know why it's taking so long. It says on the front page of our website, pool and hot tub closed. It's been at least a few months. We've been telling those third parties to put it on there, but they don't. There's also so many third party websites that it is just impossible to put it absolutely everywhere. I've had so many guests check in and complain and yell, "If we knew it was down, we wouldn't have booked here." It says absolutely nothing anywhere online. This is fucking ridiculous. I want a discount, a manager, etc. We've been telling those third-party sites to put it on there, but it's really out of our control if they're actually going to put it there. Sorry for the inconvenience, but it's not my fault that you didn't do your research. Maybe don't just rely on the shady third-party sites and call directly. I hate it when like customer service people are like making a good argument, but then they add in like a really harsh judgment in there, like, or I guess it's not really harsh, but maybe don't just rely on the shady third-party sites and call directly. Okay, but how many of those people know that those sites are shady? Like, I bet you barely any of them. Like, I know they are. That's why I don't use them. I prefer Airbnb. I know it's like not the greatest, but it's cheaper and easier to use, and you know, shut up. If you get a bad place, that sucks. But if you get a good place, then that doesn't suck. You know. Um, But yeah, this person's being shady for no reason. I hate that. And like customer service workers, like, not everyone's your enemy. More often than not, I'll have to say actually it is online. And that's the other thing too, like, just like, I don't know. This is why I think I would be good for customer service, because like if I have the information, I can just get through the interaction. Like, I would just be like, yeah, I understand. I would probably, not be super happy about this either if I were in your position, but we put it on our website that the pool was closed, and we let all the third party websites know, and it's up to them to make that decision to change it. So going forward, I'm sorry that this happened, but going forward, I would, suggest that you really do your research, and like when you book with a hotel, go to their website and make sure that the amenities that you're looking for are actually available, because like people just don't want to do work anymore. People don't want to like research, and it's all the older generations. Like, yeah, there's some idiots around my age, but I think most people my age would like want to make sure that their bookings were not gonna like fall through in any way. You know what I mean? Also, I feel like a lot of people my age just like don't really care or think about that. They would just pivot from it and like go do something else. But yeah, all these complaints are coming from boomers and millennials and Gen Xers, I guarantee it. Wrestlers in a baseball game. Back in the 80s, I was the assistant GM at a mid-sized hotel. One day, the front desk clerk came to me and said we had a guest complain about some other guests. We had recently had some Japanese businessmen check in, and they spoke very little English. Well, the guest complaint was that the Japanese businessmen were making her and her minor children very uncomfortable while using the pool. The problem was that, the foreign businessmen were completely nude. We had an extremely difficult time trying to make them understand that they could not swim nude. I'm standing there poolside trying to use hand signals, sign language to explain it to them, all the while surrounded by 3 very naked Japanese businessmen. Oh, this is in the 80s. I was like, girl, Google Translate, hello. Yeah, no, this is a real struggle. I don't think they ever understood why, but at least they finally did understand that they needed trunks on to swim. I know my face was multiple shades of red before they ever understood what I was trying to tell them. I also noticed. Oh, crazy. Yeah, somebody literally said, the days before Google Translate, every day a game of charades. Must have been how it was. Oh, was that a sentence? This must have been how it was to try and like explain. That's it. An influencer proved me wrong with an unforgettable tip. $200. Oh my god, she thanked me for the water, raved about loving one of my restaurant pics, and then handed me a $200 Calvin Klein gift card as a tip. Yeah, it was probably like PR that they got. Like, and they were like, because like honestly, I'm being totally honest. If I got handed a Calvin Klein gift certificate, I would also regift. Guest thinks it's morally wrong for me to take his this money. This literally just happened, and I'm so flabbergasted by this interaction. This guy walks in and says he has a reservation. So I pull it up on the system. Me, okay, sir, may I please see your ID and CC? Guest, actually, I'd like to see the room before I check in. I'm not comfortable paying for something without seeing it first. Me, all of my bosses and managers and housekeepers have just left like 5 seconds ago, so I'm not allowed to leave the lobby unless it's to close the pool. I'm so sorry, but I'm unfortunately the only one working here at the moment, so I'm unable to leave the front desk unattended. I'm shocked, Pikachu face. I've never had a hotel deny me of this request. Every hotel I have stayed at does this. This is not right. Can't I leave you my ID and take a key to see the room? Unfortunately, I can't allow that. If I had a housekeeper here, I would be able to help you out, but again, I'm the only one here now. Oh, wait, why is it? She changed the word guest to I am. I'm. Idiot man. Okay, his name is Idiot Man now. Idiot Man says, piss the fuck off. This is not right. You need to apologize to me and admit it's morally wrong for you to take my money without letting me see the room. Every hotel lets me do this. Hotels are so strict about paying before you get something. You can't even use the restroom without paying. Of course you can't use the restroom without paying because that's gonna take fucking cleaning like resources and time from the housekeepers. Like the fuck? Hello? Are we real here? Are we being real? Oh, you could go to McDonald's and ask to see the food before you pay it. Would you go to McDonald's and ask to see the food before you pay for it? I don't know if that's a good comparison. I'm trying to think. I'm not like I don't care. Um I understand your concerns, but again, I cannot leave the front desk to show you a room or give you a room key even if you give me something as collateral. This is a policy put into place and I'm just doing my job. Idiot Man says, admit that it's morally wrong that you're taking my money. I said, over it, sir. I can cancel your reservation free of charge if you like, as it seems this conversation is going nowhere. Also, the over it part was like, she's writing this like a script. Like, she's saying she was over it, and then she said, sir, I can cancel your reservation free of charge if you like, as it seems this conversation is going nowhere. He said, Idiot Man said, no, I don't want to do that. Just continue with the check-in process. Being a smartass. Oh, she said being a smartass. Are you sure you want to pay for something you're not seeing first? That's actually... She's like poking the bear. It's an interesting choice. And then they said, I'm sorry, I had to say it. He was irritating the fuck out of me. And he said, Idiot Man said, so you admit it then? And then the front desk worker said, I'm not admitting anything, but you're making my job very difficult to do at the moment. Idiot Man says, or Idiot Man gives his ID and CC, and then I checked him in. My manager coincidentally came back because she forgot something, and he looked hopeful that she would show him the room, but she disappeared in the back and didn't come out until he was gone. I told her what just happened, and she shook her head and questioned why people act like that. I'm not worried about getting in trouble, though. We actually were instructed to not allow non-guests to see the room when we're alone at the front desk. I never agree to show someone a room unless they're elderly or a travel nurse. I only get asked to be shown a room maybe 1 or 2 times a month. Now I need to know if anyone has a similar stories, or maybe I was in the wrong. I mean, I don't know. I don't think either one of you were in the wrong. He was in the wrong when he started getting like aggressive, because that's a lot. This is just a hotel. Um, But also, I don't know what the like procedure is. Like, if you pay for a hotel and then you get to the hotel and you're like, this is disgusting, can you get your money back? Because then I would understand him wanting to see it first. But again, but also, why is a hotel leaving one person in charge? That seems like a problem to me. Um, like every hotel should have at least one security guard. I feel so like if there was a security guard, why don't you just make the security guard either watch the front or take the person up to show the room? And don't tell me it's not in their paid job or whatever. It's not part of their. They're not getting paid to do that, bitch. To walk upstairs and open a door. Ugh, I hate it when people are like that. Like if it's reasonable, like it's a whole new job. Like I understand that you might want to get like compensated for it, but like I don't know, just help out. You stand around and do nothing for your whole shift. Do you ever get pissed by stupid idiot customers? That's so funny. So I've been working in hotel front desk for almost 2 years now, and almost every day customers always give me something to be pissed about. I'm just venting. I quite like the job, so no need to tell me to quit. I've vented about some cases before, and here are some more. When customers check out, they put down their key cards on the table and they already ask, is it done? As soon as I receive their key cards, like, can you fucking wait a moment? At least give me some time to check if you have any payment that you have to make. What the fuck? Also, during check-in, I'm not even done with the check-in procedure yet, and they start walking away. What's the rush? You haven't even gotten your key card yet. Sometimes the customers just approach the front desk without saying anything. They just stood there in front of me. Like, how the fuck am I supposed to know what language you speak and what the fuck you want? So I have to ask English, Chinese, and Mandarin? Sometimes I'm looking down doing something, then they became quiet, but I'm listening. Why can't they continue talking? I listen with my ears, not my eyes. Is making too much eye contact necessary? Sometimes I need to check their info on my computer, so I have to look away and not hold the eye contact. Why do they have to stop? I would just be like, keep going, I'm still here. Our check-in time is 3 p.m. and sometimes customers come check in early, and I told them that we can register them first, then help them keep their luggage at the concierge, and check-in time is 3 p.m. After registering and telling them check-in time is 3 p.m. and to keep the luggage at concierge, they just stood in front of me and look at me with a blank, stupid look or a confused look, like, fuck off. Go keep your luggage at the concierge. Why are you still standing there? I told you to come back after 3 p.m. Also, even after I told them that, they asked me where their key cards are, which part of check-in time is 3 p.m. do they not understand? Why the hell would you get your key card when it's not 3 p.m. yet? Is there actually something wrong with their understanding skills? Yes, they're fucking like they're incompetent. Like they're so fucking incompetent. Like people are genuinely like this. My grandma is like this. She does not understand that there are like rules and procedures to follow when she leaves the house, and she'll just get mad at people who aren't like who are like causing her problems. And it's like every time you step out of the house, the world is gonna cause you problems. Like, why are you not? Why don't you know this? You're in your 80s. Like, come on, keep up. Some customers can't understand simple English. I decided to learn Korean and Spanish. Sometimes the Koreans still don't understand me. Maybe it's the accent, but can they please try their best to be smarter and try to get what I'm trying to express? Even with body language, simple English and Korean, Google Translate and writing, instruction forms, etc., they still don't understand, and I get impatient and pissed. Then what's the point in me spending money for classes to learn their language? Well, that's your choice. Like that, when you said what's the point, you just answered it yourself. There's no fucking point. You've Google Translate. You don't need to learn new languages. Like what the fuck? Hello. Um. Another thing. Why do some customers talk to me in their language sometimes? What makes them think I would understand what they're saying? You're in another country, speaking English/Mandarin, at least some kind of international language. Just like I wouldn't start talking in my language if I visit a foreign country. I would try to speak in English first. Interesting. Interesting. Isn't it basic to learn a little international language such as English before you visit another country? No. Where is this coming from? What the fuck? Like obviously English is the most popular language. I don't know if that's the right word to use. English is the most used language, but like that doesn't mean you have to learn it to go somewhere. Like there are immigrants who live in Canada who don't know English like at one bit. So you're fine. Google Translate, babes. Like there's absolutely no reason to learn a language. Like I'm gonna go live in fucking like I want to live in like Thailand or something. I don't want to learn the Thailand language. I don't even know what it is. I just want to go live there. You know, maybe I'll learn some phrases and like I'll learn how to say hi and stuff. But like, and I'll learn how to say um no habla inglés.
But like, you know what I mean? Like, I'll learn how to say that for whatever country. Oh my god, I'm sorry. That's so stupid. I understand that technology is advanced nowadays and we can use Google Translate for translation, but still, isn't it useful to learn another language? Yeah, it is, but you don't have to. It's not a requirement. Like, I know two languages fluently, and then I can also kind of understand Spanish. And I took German in high school, but I don't think I like retained enough to like understand it. Um, Our customer's blind. I always check everything in my hotel room when I go traveling. Why don't the customers look around their room? Do they only know how to use their mouths and not their eyes? Our hotel does not provide complimentary bottled water, but we have a water machine in the room. Wait, what is a water machine? Why can't they boil water? Because that's gross. And they asked the stupid question, where can I get water? Well, obviously from the fucking tap in the wash. Girl, like, where are you in the world? I am so intrigued because the things that you're saying that are obvious are so just not obvious. They're the most not obvious things ever.
This one's long, but it's gonna be the last one, and I think it's gonna be good because it's titled "Being Held Prisoner at FD at Front Desk." As NA, what's NA? I am held prisoner at the front desk until my relief arrives at 7 a.m. As most of us know, FD agents do not know the meaning of teamwork. If you have any at your location who do know the meaning, you are extremely lucky. I have ADHD along with anxiety and usually work shifts by myself. Almost 500 rooms, casino hotel, answering phones after midnight, checking in and doing audit, plus numerous other side work. I definitely need to be medicated to handle all of the multitasking that I have to do. Due to my relief not showing up, I missed my appointment and they refused to refill my prescription until I see him. So I've been out of meds for a week. Surprisingly, I was doing well without it until Saturday night, and then I guess the week's issues just got to me. Not only that, but I have been at my max PTO for 2 months and have not been able to take any time off until now. Just 2 days along with my regular 2 days off, but damn, I'm exhausted, so I'm looking forward to some good rest. Managers, holy fuck! I've been reading so much. I just realized I'm a little back. I'm a little behind on the breathing. Managers have to send a pass on log to other managers before leaving. I was feeling kind of smart, alecly, and needed to vent, so this is what I attached to my pass on log. I'm mainly writing this as it helps when I'm thoroughly aggravated, but I thought why not send it out and give someone a laugh and some sense of what we have to go through at FD, so here's my tale of woe. Thursday night alone. The fun started almost as soon as I walked in the door. I am dealing with the remaining arrivals showing up. During all of this fun, the printer decides it wants to start acting up and eating all of my papers. So I think, okay, this is aggravating, but I will use the other one. Of course, the other one is running out of ink and no ink to replace it. It finally starts to settle down around 3:30 a.m. So I decide to slip down to the dungeon and get a couple of boxes of key cards. I grab the MOD phone, manager on duty, and slip it into my front pocket, important for story, and head to the dungeon, what we call the supply room in the bowels of the casino. If anyone reading this is familiar with the dungeon where we have all our supplies, then you know just how crammed it is. So I squeeze in between some pallets and grab one of the very heavy boxes and turn to place it on the dolly, not realizing my foot has become entangled in one of the straps that go around the pallets. So I fall into another pallet and my shoes go flying in the air. Seeing as I have already had a crappy night, I hollered out, "This place is a fucking death trap." All of a sudden, a voice says, "I'm sorry, I don't understand that request." I have to say, I laughed so damn hard, I was actually in a better mood the rest of my shift. I don't know, is that your Siri? Who the fuck was that? Like, explain. I have to say, Friday night was amazing. I should have known I could not possibly have two of those in a row. Saturday night alone, concert night, slammed 1/3 of the hotel guests decide after midnight is the perfect time to start calling for towels, blankets, toilet paper, etc. Then I start getting a lot of guests coming to the front desk stating their keys are not working. The light is turning green, but it just will not open. I tell the guests if the light is turning green, everything is fine. They just need to lift the handle up instead of down. They argue and insist they are doing this, so maintenance is running all over to help with the locks, and guess what? They use the guest key, insert it in the lock, and lift the handle up. Voila, door opens. Intoxication, gotta love it. Of course, again, I am dealing with 1100 distractions from the phones and guests stopping by the desk for directions as I am trying to get everything together for my audit.
I received a call from a gentleman who tells me he just can't sleep due to the music that plays outside and inside. Now, dear readers, I must tell you, if I knowingly mess up, I will rat myself out. I have no problem telling on myself. Having said that, I told them gentlemen, yeah, maybe for future reference, if you want peace and quiet, you should not book somewhere that says soft rock. Then I got a lady at the desk that states, I guess I put my key next to something electronic and it zapped it so my door won't open. I rekeyed it, handed it to her, and she actually had the nerve to ask me, so what kind of compensation are you giving me for this? I said, for? She states, for me having to walk back down here. Do you, I don't know, do you want me to hold your hand while we walk back up? Honestly, all I could do was laugh, and I said, sorry, you zapping your own card does not constitute compensation for you. Have a good night, though. And then to top off my night, I always want to know how these people respond. This person's not giving us much. This story was really long, and we got not much. Honestly, all I could. Oh, and then to top off my night, I run to the employee lounge to refill my coffee mug, pull the top off, and what the hell, an ink pen is in my cup. Now, how the hell did that get in there? So I hope you enjoyed my little late. I feel like somebody put it in there because they were pissed off at you. I thought some customer. Like, I thought we were gonna flip the script and a customer was gonna get held hostage by, like, the front desk worker. Sorry, that one bored me to death. I had to yawn it out. Anyway, that is all of the stories I'm gonna read. My throat actually hurts. Honestly, I thought there would be more tea. Maybe I have to just do some pre-research. I don't know where I left off, but anyway, thanks for watching. See you in the next one. I hope you enjoyed. Bye.